Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And this lesson is going to be entitled Death Threats, Enemies, and Controversies Are Part of the Truth. Death threats, enemies, and controversies are part of the truth. Now, this is going to be I won't say a response, but it's going to come on the tail of this lesson right here. Through the Spirit. This lesson that I did, it was a live stream that I did a few days ago. I guess it was Friday. It was entitled Scoffers, Posers, and Disgruntled Spirits Are Also Controlled by the Lord, right? And during this lesson, there was an individual that came on the comment board in typical fashion, as these irritating carnal Israelites often do. He brought up the whole thing with Israel coming together, with all the Israelites coming together and finding common ground, putting aside the doctrines, that whole spirit. And the shit is annoying and it's old, it's played out. We've talked about this unity shit over and over with you different Israelites. We rebuked you on it and you don't appreciate what we say about it. Anyway, what wound up happening was when the individual brought it up, this annoying what I say, supplication, this annoying question, why can't we all just find common ground? This is further division, that type of spirit. Well, I rebuked him basically and told the brothers, to block the guy, get him off the comment board. And I guess some kind of way the dude just got timed out, not blocked. He came right back and he offered a threat, which shows you that Jake really is just full of shit. It ain't got nothing to do with unity. Jake wants to control what they don't understand. You see that the Most High is requiring for you to be of a higher standard. And the various Israelite groups don't want to come up to the Most High's high standards in which he's asking for. They want to do just enough. It's it's really like what I like to call that trophy spirit, that mediocre, low expectation trophy spirit like they have over America nowadays, where the kids being a race at school, they'll all participate and there's no clear winner. Everybody gets a trophy for participating. This is that mediocre, low level remedial spirit on the house of Israel among you other camps. Anyway, what Jake did was he levied a threat. Now, just a minute before that, before I rebuked him on the notion of coming together in unity, he was talking all about all Israelites coming together. Why, when I rebuked him, he immediately made a physical threat toward me, showing you that he wasn't about the truth. He's about trying to control the truth, if you want to say that. He's about trying to force unity on the Israelites off the basis of nationality. And anyway, when he made the threat, it made me think about the different various men of the Lord, because a lot of brothers and sisters may have got thrown off by that, but you can't be thrown off by it. It comes with the territory. Now, first, before we get it, I want to read here at John chapter 8. When Yahushua was dealing with his own people, this is what was said. This is James 8:32. Okay. So what we're gonna do is you're just gonna go in here to John chapter 8, and I want you to see how Yahushua addressed his own people. Okay, because you got a lot of brothers and sisters that may not understand this dynamic. A lot of new Israelites are coming into the fold. You're waking up to the truth, and when you first wake up, you think that all Israelites are the same. You desire to be with those that are like you, but all these Israelites are not the same. You have to remember, when you deal with the house of Israel, 2/3 is going to be cut off and die, and 1/3 is going to be saved in Babylon the Great, which is America. So what is that saying to you? 2 out of every 3 Israelites are wicked. That's just the bottom line. 2 out of every 3 are wicked. Okay. And then the 1/3, they may not even be awake yet. So you could come across quite a few weird, perverse spirits before you run into real brothers and sisters. Anyway, let's read right here when Yahushua was speaking to the wicked scribes and Pharisees. And then also when he was speaking to the Jews, let's just say that. Verse 28 says, Then said Yahushua unto them, When ye have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall ye know that I am he, and that I do nothing of myself, but as my Father hath taught me, I speak these things. And he that sent me is with me. The Father hath not left me alone, for I do always those things that please him. As he spake these words, many believed on him. You hear that? When he spoke the word, many believed. And it's just like that now. Right? Many Israelites are hearing this word of truth and they're believing. Here it says the truth will make you free. Verse 31. Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word. That's the point. If you continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. They answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free? Now this is that same argumentative spirit that doesn't understand what he just said. Right? Obviously he was free. He wasn't in bondage either. Why did they say that? It's because they couldn't understand. They couldn't perceive. And you have that now. Everything we say, we show Jake in the scripture that we ain't all coming together. There ain't gonna be no unity. They still bark and beckon for unity more than ever, because they want to be accepted with their wicked deeds, and they don't want to aspire to be anything greater than just Negroes that woke up to being Israelites. They don't want to become Israelites. Yahushua answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin, and the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth ever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. Now you got a lot of Israelites now that woke up to the truth, and they're still not free because they haven't truly converted. They haven't truly been born again. They just hear. They just know it's a fad and a trend. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word hath no place in you. And this is the point. A lot of Israelites seek to kill. They want to kill somebody. They want to kill their oppressor. And if you piss them off, they want to kill their own brothers, their own sisters. They still got that murderous Negro spirit from the world, man. They're not converted. He says, I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word hath no place in you. Now, back during this time, of course, it was prophesied that it was going to come against the Lord, right? He says, I speak that which I have seen with my father, and ye do that which you have seen with your father. So a grungy nigga on the comment board hurling threats at a brother for simply, and I rebuked him. I told him, because we've addressed that over and over and over. Why are you in the truth and you don't understand that all Israelites can't come together and ignore doctrines just for the sake of nationality? Why do you not understand that? With all the videos we made on it, GMS has been very vocal about unity camps and coming together with those of different doctrines, yet you crash our comment board, right? And I wasn't even dealing with nothing like that going on. I speak that which I have seen with my father, and you do that which you have seen with your father. Even then he was giving them a clue, and he's going to speak on that further down in verse 44. Then they answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahushua said unto them, if ye were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham. He said, if you really was circumcised, if you really walked after the ways of Abraham, you would be righteous like him. But now ye seek to kill me, a man that had told you the truth, which I have heard of the Most High. This did not Abraham. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even the Most High. Yahushua said unto them, if the Most High were your father, ye would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from the Most High. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech, even because you cannot hear my word? He said, the truth ain't in you. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. What is it? What is the type of spirit comes against a man trying to preach the gospel, teach the word to better his nation and his people? What comes against that? What goes against, bringing forth that contention, that spirit of everybody coming together, trying to put us all on the same equal base, low remedial, low expectation ass level? That's the spirit of error. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And these are the spiritual tares doing this. Even though you may be Israelites, you still devils. And I read that scripture to show you that not all Israelites are going to be, of the elect. Not all Israelites are going to try to strive to do righteousness. You got a lot of carnal, snag a tooth, weirdo Israelites out there in the world, dogs with rotten teeth, even in trying to come into the truth, even on the comment boards. Because you know what, I'm gonna hit you with something, and I was meditating on this earlier. You know, you got a lot of people that's a lot of Israelites out there. They're foolish virgins, and they're trying to understand, and the Most High is rejecting them. You know, it ain't a thing that you can choose to do. You got a lot of Israelites that's trying to come on, that's on the comment boards, that just woke up to the truth, and they're trying to force their way. They're clumsy. They're trying to force their way. They're trying to understand, and the Most High is rejecting them. They're not even understanding, and they want to understand. They're knocking at the Most High's door, and he's like, nope, I'm not gonna let you get the understanding. So they come and they make trouble. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. Now I want to go on. So that brought me, you know, like I said, I started thinking about all the different threats and the different things that happened to different you know, the prophets and different men of the past. Now Paul spoke on this. Second Corinthians 11:22, it says, are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of the anointed? I speak as a fool. I am more, and laborers more abundant, and stripes above measure, and prisons more frequent, and deaths oft. Of the Jews, not of the Edomites, not of the other nations, of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods, once was I stoned, thrice I suffered shipwreck, a night and a day I have been in the deep. In journeyings often, in perils often. Perils are dangerous. In perils of robbers, in perils of mine own countrymen. You see that? And you're gonna also be threatened and be in perils of other nations, but your own countrymen. Don't lose sight of that. In perils by mine own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren. And you got that more and more spreading. False brethren, right? We can't overstate that to you enough. In weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and in nakedness. Beside those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches. So I wanted to read that so you can understand. Perils of your own countrymen, perils by false brethren. Okay, don't forget perils among false brethren. Let me get one more quick one. James, you have to remember, this is not a cakewalk. This is something that's difficult. It requires patience. You know, it's one of the toughest jobs that's out there, man. Being in this truth. This is James 5 verse 10. Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. You hear that? You got to suffer affliction, and you got to have patience. Now I want to get to some of these similitudes that I got. I got this Hebrews 11. I'll read that in a little bit. So death threats, right? Death threats and controversies, different things like that. Hey man, this is part of the truth. And I'm gonna read a few classic examples. Let's start in the book of 1 Kings, right? Listen to these threats that's going out, because just because this dude threatened me, we ain't gonna get all scared of you niggas, man. Like I said in that day, man, fuck these people threatening us and saying whatever they're saying, because it comes with the territory, right? An unspiritual person to say, well, all the brother did was ask you this and you said this. That don't make you threaten nobody. You know, that doesn't make you threaten somebody. I don't have to answer questions the way you people think that we ought to answer them. We told you already. We make all these videos to answer the questions. Why you need to come on the live stream and crash it? You ain't even one of the people of our congregation asking us these questions about these other groups. Everybody know Great Millstone will get down with them damn other groups. You should have known better. Elijah flees from Jezebel, as it says here, 1 Kings 19:1. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, so let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. Did you hear what she just said? She sent a messenger to tell Elijah, we're going to kill you. See? Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, so let the gods do to me, and more also. See, showing she was wicked. She said the gods, plural. This ain't no woman of the Lord. You see, a lot of these raggedy mouth niggas on the comment board, they ain't really even here to follow the Most High. They're not here about the truth. Hebrew Israelites are getting so much publicity, so much people, the noise of the gospel being preached is reaching so many ears. You got a bunch of flakes coming in on the comment board trying to see what it's all about. We don't owe you shit. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, so let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. Now, if you go back to chapter 18, I guess in a few chapters back, Jezebel had a face-off with the prophets of Baal in which they got put to death. And because of it, she was pissed off. So she sent a threat unto Elijah. You want to read more about the story? Go there and find it and read it. Okay. So I want to read more here. Let's look at what the prophet Jeremiah went through. Right. Now this is and I gotta refresh it here. Jeremiah 18 and 18. And we may read up a little bit on this. This is Jeremiah 18 and 11. It says, now therefore go to speak to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, thus saith the Lord. So when we come out, we speak in what the Lord says, but a lot of jakes don't want to hear that. It says, behold, I frame evil against you and devise a device against you. Return ye now every one from his evil way, and make your ways good and your doings. And they said, there is no hope, but we will walk after our own devices, and we will every one do the imagination of his evil heart, just like now. But it's on a whole nother level now, way worse. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, ask ye now among the heathen, who hath heard such things? The virgin of Israel had done a very horrible thing. Will a man leave the snow of Lebanon, which cometh forth, so like which cometh from the rock of the field? Or shall the cold flowing waters that come from another place be forsaken? Because my people have forgotten me, they have burned incense to vanity, they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient past, to walk in paths in a way not cast up, to make their land desolate and a perpetual hissing. Everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished and wag his head. So they basically said, we ain't gonna listen to you, we gonna do what we want to do. And the Most High levied this response unto them. He sent back and he said he gonna destroy them. And he told Jeremiah to take that message. I will scatter them as an east wind before the enemy. I will show them the back and not the face in the day of their calamity. Then said they, come and let us devise devices against Jeremiah. For the law shall perish from the priest, shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come and let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words. And as I brought out of camp the other day, or last week, they said we gonna smite Jeremiah with the tongue, we gonna lie on him, we gonna devise devices against him. But Jeremiah was delivering the message that the Most High gave. See, they said, come and let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words. Wait a minute. If you read up, it wasn't Jeremiah's words. It's right here at the top. Thus saith the Lord. Right? Now therefore go and speak to them, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, thus saith the Lord. When you read in it, it said the word of the Lord came forth to Jeremiah. So Jeremiah went and told him what the Lord said to tell him, and they got pissed off and they said they ain't gonna listen to none of his words. Same you do with us that you're doing now. And they said they're gonna devise devices against Jeremiah, right? Now he went on to pray a prayer against him, which I won't bother to read it now. You can go also and read that in Jeremiah 18, which is why we read these similitudes. We go and we pull out these things out of the scriptures so that you can learn and you can go back and you can read them yourself. You can get the full story. So let's get another one, because there's another guy that prophesied, and we're gonna read up a little bit. Now they wanted to kill Jeremiah, and they even wound up putting him in the dungeon, but he was spared by the Lord, showing you that your own people would turn murderers. Even though they may be a part of the faith, it don't matter. It's all about that spirit. You're gonna have 1/3 that's gonna heed the word, they're gonna do right, and you're gonna have another 2/3 that's gonna be destroyed. And many of them of the 2/3 got on fringes. Remember that. This is Jeremiah's spirit. It says Jeremiah 26:16. Then said the princes and all the people unto the priests and to the prophets, this man is not worthy to die, for he has spoken to us in the name of the Lord our power. Yahweh, right? Now up here at the top, he was telling them what to do, and they got mad. right? He was telling them they was gonna be destroyed, that the land was gonna be that they was gonna be driven off the land and all that, and they got mad. So, but he had people that Most High put spirits on individuals to rise up in his defense. Then said the princes and all the people unto the priests and to the prophets, this man is not worthy to die, for he has spoken to us in the name of the Lord our power. Then rose up certain of the elders of the land and spake to all the assembly of the people, saying, Micah the Morashite, or the Morasthite, prophesied in the days of Hezekiah king of Judah, and spake to all the people of Judah, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Zion shall be plowed like a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house of the high places of mountain as the high places of a forest. Did Hezekiah king of Judah and all Judah put him at all to death? Did he not fear the Lord and besought the Lord, and the Lord repented him of the evil which he had pronounced against them? Thus might we procure great evil against our souls. So there was individuals there that said, look, you ain't try to, King Hezekiah didn't put Micah the Morasthite to death for prophesying. That's just like Jake now. Jake is pissed off because we say the Most High is about to destroy a bunch of Israelites. Don't the scripture tell you in the New Testament that the Most High said in Ezekiel 9, begin at my sanctuary, slay old and young, both maids and little children and women, right? But begin at his sanctuary, yeah. And then in 1 Peter, it talks about judgment is going to begin at the house of the Lord. But people are still mad at us. You still pissed off because we tell you that the Most High ain't dealing with all the Israelites, just the elect. Verse 20, and there was also a man that prophesied in the name of the Lord, Uriah, the son of Shemaiah of Kirjath-jearim. And this is Uriah, the son of Shemaiah of Kirjath-jearim, who prophesied against this city and against this land, according to all the words of Jeremiah. And when Jehoiakim the king with all his mighty men and all the princes heard his words, the king sought to put him to death. But when Uriah heard it, he was afraid and fled and went into Egypt. See, so this guy prophesied in the name of the Lord, right? But then he got all messed up and scared because he heard of the threats. Again, these threats, these controversies, these different things going to arise in the truth. And Jehoiakim the king sent men into Egypt, namely Elnathan, the son of Achbor, and certain men with him into Egypt. And they fetched forth Uriah out of Egypt and brought him unto Jehoiakim the king, who slew him with the sword and cast his dead body into the graves of the common people. You see that? Nevertheless, the hand of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, was with Jeremiah, that they should not give him into the hand of the people to put him to death. The point is a couple of things. This guy tried to flee. You claim you're speaking in the name of the Lord. What the hell you afraid of? He tried to flee, and what happened? He went to another country and they sent and got him out of the country, and the Most High had his ass put to death. Jeremiah stayed put, and the Most High made sure that he was delivered. So you got Queen Jezebel sending threats to Elijah, Jeremiah being put in a dungeon, being pursued after by his people trying to put him to death, but the Most High rose up and didn't allow it to happen. Same as Elijah was delivered too. Queen Jezebel didn't put Elijah to death. She got put to death, right? We all know the story of that, I think it was Jehu who wound up throwing Jezebel off that damn wall, and then the dogs ate that bitch up. So we ain't worried about you people, man. You can make all your little punk ass threats. It don't matter to us. That shit ain't gonna come to pass unless the Lord say so. Lamentations 3:37. Who is he? Let me go there. We ain't worried about no damn threats. Now going forward, as the scriptures say, a soft answer turneth away wrath. That's true. But there ain't no measuring stick the way I'm supposed to answer a fucking annoying question, man. Sometimes Jake will ask you some annoying shit and you can see it bubbling under the surface because they use subtlety and guile. As soon as I sense your subtlety and your guile, sometimes I just, the heat just get on me. I mean, the dude could have been like, damn, sheesh, all right, I made a mistake. No, what he turns around and makes a threat. I think what exact words were, we gonna pull up on your camp and I'm gonna smack the fire out your ass, something like that. And I told him, you ain't gonna smack shit. We ain't gonna be no punching bag for nobody. Fuck you, okay? That's just the bottom line. We doing the work of the Lord. If you can't handle rebuke, then just don't fucking talk to us. Really, we don't even want to talk to you anyway. You ain't following Great Millstone. You follow them other groups. Keep it pushing. We ain't got nothing to say to you. Lamentations 3:37. Who is he that saith and it cometh to pass when the Lord commandeth it not? If it be the Lord's will, something gonna happen. But if it don't be the Lord's will, ain't shit gonna happen. So you know what? I'll take the side of the Lord. Now here's another story of threats being made, even people trying to death threats, you know, that as went to Elijah, because it was a straight up death threat sent to him. Also to Jeremiah. See, these threats and these controversies, these things gonna come up, but you can't faint. You gotta be strong, hold fast, and don't be thrown off guard, because there were prophet killers in the old days. You don't think those spirits are back? So this is Acts 23, and I just thought I don't want to have to read too much of this. I'll start at verse 5, because when you read it at the top, it says Paul before the council. So I may have to start at 1. It says, and Paul earnestly beholding the council said, men and brethren, I have lived in all good conscience before the Most High unto this day. And the high priest Ananias commanded them that stood by him to smite him on the mouth. See? And they was already trying to get Paul, man. And somebody hit him, commanded to hit him on the mouth. Then said Paul unto him, the Most High shall smite thee, thou whited wall. For sittest thou to judge me after the law, and commandest me to be smitten contrary to the law? He said, hey, you talking about you a hypocrite. You talking about the laws, but then you're going to hit me contrary to the law. And they that stood by said, revilest thou the Most High's high priest, which is that proud ass spirit that's on a lot of Israelites. You think because you put on a fucking fringe shirt, a t-shirt at that, a camouflage fringe shirt or a Tupac fringe shirt, or you sit behind one of them panels behind a damn menorah with the ram's horn up there with glasses of water and a microphone, you think that make you something? We see right through you. Then said Paul, I wist not, brethren, that he was the high priest, for it is written, thou shalt not speak evil of the ruler of thy people. And then Paul was like, you know what, my bad, right? He didn't know the dude was a high priest. Even in his own righteousness, Paul was still being meek. But when Paul perceived that one part was Sadducees and the other Pharisees, he cried out in the council, men and brethren, I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee, the hope and resurrection of the dead, I am called in question. And then as soon as you Jakes hear the word Pharisee, you were the Pharisees. You don't even know that they were righteous Pharisees, you dummy. And when he had so said, there arose a dissension between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the multitude was divided. For the Sadducees say that there is no resurrection, neither angel nor spirit, but the Pharisees confess both. Just like now, you got Old Testament only Israelites, New Testament only Israelites, Hebrew Israelite Christians, Hebrew Israelites who don't believe in spiritual power. They don't believe in nothing spiritual. It is. And there arose a great cry, and the scribes that were of the Pharisees' part, you got the Sicarii back, dagger men, backstabbers, right? Full of zeal, not much common sense, not much spiritual sense. And there arose a great cry, and the scribes that were of the Pharisees' part arose and strove, saying, we find no evil in this man. But if a spirit or an angel has spoken to him, let us not fight against the Most High. And when there arose a great dissension, the chief captain, fearing lest Paul should have been pulled in pieces of them, commanded the soldiers to go down and to take him by force from among them, and to bring him into the castle. And you got to understand, it was riots and shit breaking out, man. There was a lot going on, and this is Israelites, okay? All behind the word of truth. That's what the word does. The word makes such a clamor, such a noise, so much resistance that people, they spirits, Hebrews 4 and 12, they get discerned by the word. And they turn into savage beasts, or either they're going to turn into their rightful, righteous selves. You had a lot of animosity going about. People think, it was like this lady was on the comment board the other day, talking that dumb shit. There's too much arguing and cussing. The spirit flees from that. Shut your black ass up. You don't know what you're talking about. You women just need to shut the hell up, man. There was a lot of controversies, right? A lot of talk, a lot of arguing, a lot of contention going on back during that time. And the spirit of truth, even when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, same thing, man. That's how you know it's the same spirit. Even now, a lot of you Israelites, most of you niggas would rise up and try to kill us if you could, but you can't. You're a bunch of demons. And the night following, the Lord stood by him and said, be of good cheer, Paul, for as thou hast testified of me in Jerusalem, so must thou bear witness also at Rome. The Lord said, don't worry about this. You're going to get past this, because I need you to go to Rome. Now, here's the juicy part. A conspiracy to kill Paul, other Israelites in a conspiracy. Verse 12, and this is heavy. And when it was day, certain of the Jews, your own people, banded together and bound themselves under a curse, saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. And they were more than 40 which had made this conspiracy. 40 men, more than 40 men said, man, fuck this. We gonna get that nigga Paul. We gonna bound, we gonna take a curse. They took basically a hunger, something like, like when you bind yourself on the curse, you say, we ain't gonna eat no food till this dude is dead. I gotta read that again. And when it was day, certain of the Jews banded together and bound themselves under a curse, saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. And there were more than 40 which had made this conspiracy. What is a conspiracy? It means breathe together. More than 40 people came together and they made an agreement to kill Paul. And they came to the chief priests and elders and said, we have bound ourselves under a great curse that we will eat nothing until we have slain Paul. You mean to tell me we ain't gonna have opposition and threats ain't gonna be made toward us? You got Elijah, Paul, even we gonna read about Yahushua, Jeremiah, certain men of the Lord, man. That same spirit, the righteous spirit, the Holy Spirit from the Most High, right? Being aggravated and agitated and chased and being mad at by the evil spirits that's on our people. Same thing going on now. You little punk asses making your threats and shit. Can't say what I really want to say. Anyway, they came up with a plan. They said that they came to the chief priests and elders and said, we have bound ourselves under a great curse that we will eat nothing until we have slain Paul. Now therefore ye with the council signify to the chief captain that he might bring him down unto you tomorrow, as though ye would inquire something more perfectly concerning him, and we, or ever he come near, are ready to kill him. See, they said, yeah, tomorrow. See, we got a plan set up. Y'all act like you want to ask him some questions, and when he come out, we gonna get him. And when Paul's sister heard of their lying in wait, he went and entered into the castle and told Paul. So like, when Paul's sister's son, this is Paul's nephew, heard of their lying in wait, he went and entered into the castle and told Paul. Then Paul called one of the centurions unto him and said, bring this young man into the chief captain, for he hath a certain thing to tell him. And you can go and find out what happened, but that's just showing you another episode in which your own people levied threats, right? Talk shit, death threats came to one of the prophets, one of the men of the Lord from your own people. So we're in good company. And all them spies and all the rest of that shit, they all exist now. You can't think anything different than that. Death threats, controversies, different stuff happen, man. This is Luke 20. And I'll jump in here at verse 19, because Yahushua was cutting him with the word. And the chief priests and the scribes in the same hour sought to lay hands on him, and they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them. And they watched him and sent for spies which should feign themselves just men. And I always like to read this. When you feign yourself as a just man, you pretending to be in the truth. Jake, do that. They put on all the garb, they do everything all in order to use the truth as a vehicle that they can get their new rap album out, or that they can do some other thing. The truth itself is never enough for Jake, but you got to watch out for these spies, these little weirdos, little weak, off spirit Israelites coming on the comment board with them stupid ass comments and asking you different questions. And the new thing now is Jake want to know if there's a Bible with precepts in it. And when they ask that, what they're really asking is there a Bible that can give them all the scriptures for the breakdown? Now, you think Esau got a Bible out there? See, that show you don't understand the scriptures, man. Because if you did, you would know this is a spiritual thing. Who can give you a Bible with precepts in it that can give you all the breakdowns when it's a spiritual thing? And these people that print the Bibles don't have the spirit. How? Because you ain't just asking, is there a Bible with just simply just precepts in the column? Because everybody know that they exist, but they ain't gonna give you all the things that the Spirit gonna give you. And they watched him and sent forth spies which should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor. See? And then people continue to ask the Lord questions to try to trap him. You got enemies. You have enemies. You speaking this word of truth, you have enemies. And there's no way around that. And they're going to be death threats made, threats of all sorts. Jake saying he's going to come up to the camp and he's going to do this, you're going to do that. You don't know us. Like I keep saying, you don't know how many of us know black belts in Taekwondo or all types of shit, had weapons training, been in the military, no martial arts. You don't know us. You have no idea who we are. You just know you see flesh, and it make your flesh irritated, because the flesh that you see us in is prophesying through the spirit, the word of the Lord. And you getting all offended by it, man. You don't fool us, and we ain't afraid of you. Bottom line. And Yahushua even further condemned this same type of iniquitous, iniquity-filled punk-ass Israelites with low expectations, man. He got all over these people. This is Matthew 23. And we'll start at verse 24. He says, ye blind guys, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Now, when you strain at a gnat and swallow a camel, you're looking at a small issue, but yet you're doing something greater. Like, for example, the individual that made the threat, he was straining at a gnat because he asked about some unity, which he didn't use the word unity, but he asked all Israelites coming together on common ground, which is fucking stupid, because the doctrine is first. The truth comes first. The truth is spiritual. Being an Israelite in the flesh, that's flesh, man. So you want to obey the flesh, ignore the spirit is really what he's asking. So when I became irritated by that and I answered the way that I did, he swallowed a camel. He strained at a net, like, telling us we ain't trying to come together with other Israelites, but he swallowed a camel by making a threat. You basically threaten somebody who's doing the work of the Most High for your own damn tradition, for your flesh sake. Ye blind guys, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Jacob dress up. He can act the part as being an Israelite. Ask him to really do something for the Most High, and they will have a problem with it every time. You can wear a friend's shirt, but you won't do the work. You can keep the high holy days, but you can't do the work. Right? You can go across the country, do all this other stuff, to go to an Israelite Passover, but just go down the block and set up a camp and prophesy. You won't do it. Verse 26, thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. Even so ye outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you are full of hypocrisy, you hypocrites, and iniquity, and you still be committing a bunch of sins. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous. This sort, that's an Israelite on the outside and not inwardly, these are the ones that will kill you, man, that will levy threats, that will talk trash, bring up controversies, false accusations. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous. And say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. If we was back there during them time, we would have listened to the prophets. No, you wouldn't have. And the Lord told you, he said, wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. You them same spirits coming back. And this is your role to play. You're going to do what you always did. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can you escape the damnation of hell? Behold, I send you forth. So like, behold, I send you unto you prophets. The Lord said, how you going to escape the judgment, the destruction? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes. And some of them ye shall kill and crucify. And some of them ye shall scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city. That's happening now. Some of it. We know the prophet killers are back. We see you niggas, grungy, grimy. Some of you in costume, pretending to be brothers and sisters in the truth. Some of you going to harbor ill will over a breakdown. Jake will become life enemies with you because they get rebuked. Rebuke supposed to help you. You don't supposed to become my life enemy. Like I keep saying, why is it that Jake could tell you when you preaching the gospel, they like a video, shalom, shalom, brother. Yeah, you got the spirit is working with you. But if you rebuke them, they'll turn into full niggas and be ready to kill you, man. And it's the same spirit that had you rebuke them as had you preach to them. Why do they not see that? See, even because you're not of my sheep. That's why. Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes. Who are the prophets, wise men, and scribes? The prophets, the men of the Lord. And some of them ye shall kill and crucify. Who is he talking to? Israelites. And some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city. But for what reason? That upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. So you're going to have that. You can't get all messed up if Jake makes some threats, if some weirdo pop up saying they're going to do this, they're going to do that. I had a dream the other night that a Jake confronted me with a big ass knife. You know what I mean? It's just one of them things, man. We in that time now. Prophet killers are here. And at the end of the day, we ain't trying to, like the old scriptures say, if a spark arises, we going to spit on it. We're going to try to deal with you prudently. But even if you can do your best to try to be cool with Jake, and they're going to still find an issue with you, man. No matter what. Let me get a quick scripture before we shut that down. Right? You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. When it comes to these black, Latino, Negro, Latino, Native American devils, it's the same thing. Wicked is wicked, man. Matthew 11:15. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is likened to children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows, and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say he hath the devil. So John the Baptist came. He wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. They said he had a devil. He wasn't eating and drinking, throwing banquets and parties. And they said, man, this dude weird. He got a devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. Yahushua tried a little bit different approach. He did, eat and drink with the common people. He spoke with the common folk. He had, tried to befriend certain individuals to give them the light. And the people that was looking was like, look at this dude. He's gluttonous and he's a wino. He eat all the time. He friends with them dudes. But wisdom is justified of her children. And that's just the bottom line when it comes to your people, man. I was going to read Hebrews 11, but we'll save it for another time. So you should understand and know through hearing these scriptures and others. There's many others. There were many threats, death threats and controversies and enemies for the men of the Lord. That's just the bottom line. You can't, if you know simple math, you would know that 2 parts being cut off and die, that means there are 2 out of every 3 wicked, or out of every 3, there are 2 wicked Israelites. Out of every 3 Israelites, 2 of them are wicked and 1 of them will be saved. See? So there's always going to be more wicked ass niggas than there are those that are trying to follow the correct way. Don't get all messed up, because death threats, enemies, and controversies are part of the truth. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Shalom.